everyone, I'm Matthew, owner here at Foster's Garage, and today we thought we'd take some time on this awesome October Friday before we head into winter to show you all the projects that have been keeping us too busy to post on our social media. We're gonna start over here in our British car section. If that's not your cup of tea, we'll put some timestamps for you to fast forward to either the American Muscle or the trucks that we've got over there. This is a MG TF that we picked up from the painter a few days ago, and he did a fantastic job on the paint and body, rebuilt all the wood structure in here, did a really cool custom roll hoop, kind of a driver compartment cover so that it's mocking a single seat race car, and just really looks the part here. The car was in a multi-year paint and body phase, so of course it does not run and drive anymore, so we're gonna make the engine bay look as good as the rest of the car, hopefully. Get in here and fix some of the wiring and get this thing tuned up and ready to be enjoyed at a Cars and Coffee and whatnot. So excited to start on that one. And then we've got a 74 TR6 Triumph that we rebuilt the motor on. Westbrook is currently doing some finishing touches so we can hopefully get this thing a first start on Monday and see how that motor runs and get the car home to its owner. We'll dive back out here in the sun. The white MG, this is a great customer of ours. Go ahead and do an honorable mention right now. He has a yellow Austin Healey Sprite as well that's not here right now. He's putting some test and tune miles on it. We put a new 1275 motor in his Sprite. We'll put a picture in of that car. So that car will be back in a couple weeks. But in the meantime, he bought this MGTD. Cool little car he got on auction, and it actually runs. It just doesn't have any brakes. So we're gonna go through the car, make sure there's no terrible leaks, put all new brakes on it so it's safe for him to drive around. And then we've got this Morris Minor pickup truck, and this thing is really cool. We'll put some shots into the motor here. Has a really well-built 1275 engine in it. Makes like a little over 110 horsepower, and it's got a Ford 5-speed gearbox behind it. So this thing really gets up and goes for what it is, and it's one of the few small British cars that I can actually fit into because the roof's so tall. We're just buttoning up a few little things on the truck for him and helping him get this car sold. It's time for him to move on from old cars, so this one's gonna be hitting the market here, and we're gonna help him get that sold. Next up, we have probably the nicest Triumph GT6 you will ever see, considering nobody really goes through full restorations on these. This is fresh from our painter, and he did a full redo on the car, and we are just kind of helping it get through to the end here. We've done a lot of the mechanical work on it, just running a new wiring harness, all new fluids, you know, helping the motor to come back after sitting for multiple years, rebuilding the carburetors and whatnot. So as soon as we're done, and it does run and drive now, so as soon as we're done, it's gonna go off to the interior shop, get the interior finished, and you will have this car back. We're kind of transitioning out of the British stuff now. We've got 73 Datsun 240Z. This was recently dropped off. We are going to be embarking on hopefully a full restoration on this car, which is really exciting. You know, Joseph, one of our engineers here, is a Datsun nerd, so he's gonna have a fun time on this one. We're gonna put this on a rotisserie and fix all the underside rust and go through the motor and put a 5-speed in it. And the plan is actually for this car to be shipped overseas to be enjoyed once it's done. So that will be really awesome. Then we've got a Porsche Boxster S 6-speed manual. Similar deal, needs some stuff to get ready for a sale. Just a few little knickknacks we're working on to make it better than it currently is. And that one will move on to a new owner probably after we get it fixed up. So just some maintenance items on that one. We've got the C5 Corvette here, really beautiful low mile car. I think 30,000 original miles, 6-speed manual. We're gonna be doing heads, cam, torque tube rebuild, clutch, all that stuff on this car. We did a C5 recently, and those torque tubes are a bear to work with, so You know, definitely not something you want to tackle in your garage at the house. So that'll be cool when it's got the headers and the cam. This Falcon is a super sad story. Came here for a full restoration, and it had previously been taken somewhere for some metal work, and pretty much the car's totaled, not worth saving anymore. Frame rails put in the rear that are not even close to right. The whole wheelbase of the car has been stretched with custom leaf spring mounts, and quarter panels put on incorrectly. Just the cost to redo it is not worth it, and luckily this guy has a few Falcons to work through, so we've got another one of his in there, that yellow one that we're going to be working on. But this one is just basically a parts car we're keeping on hand right now for the yellow car, and any other parts he needs for any of his other cars. And it's nice to have a car to measure off of when you're doing some metal work. Luckily the front frame rails haven't been touched on this car, so we're measuring some stuff off of that. In here we have our pride and joy, our 66 fastback project. It's finishing up over here on the metalwork side of the shop. We've got the full drivetrain in it. We're finishing up our TIG welded exhaust, which came out incredible. Trying to build the custom drive shaft hoops. I've been part of a drive shaft failure before, and I definitely don't want any of my customers to have to deal with that. So we like to put drive shaft hoops on these higher power cars. And so a couple final touches over here in the fab bay, but this car is going to move into paint and body really, really soon. So we're excited to see that happen. And while we're talking about Mustangs, we'll do an honorable mention for the 65 convertible that is at our painters right now. We did quarter panels and just sandblasted the whole car, undercoated, put a sound deadening product on the inside called Lizard Skin, and that car is in paint and body and coming back in a couple weeks, and it's gonna be put back together, kind of a more stock restoration. We're reusing the 289 in that car, but we'll have that back from paint here shortly. This Falcon 64 Falcon convertible is really a pretty nice car, and was unfortunately part of a fender bender in downtown Atlanta with a Tesla T-boning it in the front end here. So same guy who botched that Falcon out there did some work on this one, and it was horrible, but luckily we just were able to cut everything that he touched out, and starting with a new Dynacorn full frame rail apron shock tower assembly. Really cool that you can buy this piece pre-spot welded from Dynacorn. It just makes the product look as OEM as possible when we're done with it. So we're currently kind of jigging this up to get into its final resting place. So that's why we have that car up here for measuring. Have to step back outside to our other pride and joy. This one is getting ready to be delivered to the customer. Been a labor of love on the Rebel machine here. AMCs are probably the most difficult old American car to get parts for, and especially ones that are as rare as this one. But it's pretty much done. It's wearing its stripes now. The John Newell stripe kit was installed by a local installer here, and it is looking the part. It's running well. We've been doing a lot of test and tune on this car with the Holley Sniper EFI that we're running. So trying to put miles on it, but not trying to drive it too much since it's worth a whole ton of money. It's got an AMC 401 that we built in it with a pretty big cam, and that Holley Sniper hiding under that airbox that we built in there. So couple tiny little finishing touches. We're building a custom radiator shroud here that'll cover the top of the radiator just to tie it in with the motor a little better, and just tiny little details here and there that we're finishing up over the coming week or two. You can see the interior coming together. Last stop for this car is an interior shop. The customer has a shop that he works with down near him, so they're going to get the car once it's back with him. But for the most part, we've done a lot of the finishing touches in here. We deleted the radio and did a custom Holley Sniper screen in there, and a Bluetooth hidden radio, TKX 5-speed in this car to match the Holley Sniper. So it's just full of goodies. Vintage air, that we custom installed because Vintage Air doesn't make a kit for an AMC. So really, really excited to see this one go home to Andrew and have him enjoy it and hopefully send us another car. Now we're gonna move on to the trucks. We've got a lot of four-wheel drives and trucks here. We've been in Land Rover mode for sure. Start with probably the coolest Land Rover here. It's a late 80s original left-hand drive Europe market truck. It was unfortunately in a fire, an engine bay fire with the original diesel motor. And so that kind of spawned him to go get the truck painted. And when we got the chassis, while the body was at paint, there was just rust all over. These things rust out like crazy. And he also had purchased this North America market Defender, which needed a frame. So why not do two chassis swaps at the same time? So both these trucks are wearing brand new galvanized chassis that I believe were sourced from Atlantic British. And so we started with the new galvanized chassis. Both of the axles were pretty toast, so stripped all the axles down, powder coated the housings, did all new bearings inside and whatnot. All new suspension through here, all the bushings are done, full stainless hardware kits all the way around, so underside is just impeccable. And then the body got set on after it was done with paint and it looks really good, but this is really the cool stuff. It's a Cummins R2.8 crate motor. We never really saw this motor in the US in any OEM applications, but they decided to turn it into a crate motor for the aftermarket world, and just such a complete kit. It comes with everything to be California emissions legal, and it's going to make great torque. It's adapted with a quick draw brand adapter to a R380 heavy duty 5-speed gearbox. So 5-speed manual Cummins turbo diesel motor in your little 2-door Defender. It's going to be an awesome truck. The white Naz truck was an original North America service truck, and it got a chassis swap, and we did a lot of while you're in there, resealed the whole motor, and redid a lot of the AC system with new lines, and we're mounting a new condenser and running lines here, and the whole works, you know, everything you do when you are in there. Sealed the transfer case, new axles under it, so this truck is really, really, really close to being finished up, so that'll leave us soon. Next, we've got this Range Rover Classic. This thing is really freaking sweet. Wearing some 37-inch tires and beadlock wheels. He wants to use this as kind of a rock crawler setup. So while we were building the axles for the Defenders, we went ahead and built a set for the Range Rover, and we recently installed those in there. These are HD gears, geared for the 37s, Ashcroft air lockers, heavy duty 26 spline or 24 spline axle shaft, heavy duty CV joint. So those axles should hopefully give that truck a chance of not breaking down on the trail with those huge tires, but the thing just looks the part for sure. Next, we have the craziest vehicle to shop for sure. Definitely the most out there. Probably the ugliest year El Camino ever made, put on a K5 Blazer chassis, so I don't think anyone could get mad that it was cut up for the K5. It has a nice small block Chevy in it, and the four-wheel drive works, and someone went so far over the top with the interior and the sound system and the custom trunk and everything, and it just sat in a showroom basically. When the guy bought it, it needed a bunch of stuff to actually be used on the street, so we converted the rear to disc brakes, and we did all new front brakes, and we did a bunch of little knick-knacky stuff in the interior and fixed some wiring for him. So this thing stops now, and he's gonna pick that up shortly so he can go enjoy that in the Blue Ridge Mountains. Nice red C10 here. It's a 6-cylinder 3-speed truck with drum brakes all around, and they want to be able to actually drive it in modern day traffic. So definitely disc brake conversion, but the motor's a little rough, so we're gonna see if we can't maybe do a 350 or maybe an LS or something in it as well, so that it's a little more usable. And then we've got the beast. This is a 53 Chevy 3100, and we'll put some shots in of the motor. It's got a 6-liter LS swap, just super simple. You know, this truck is rat rod, not worried about interior stuff, but wanted a decent drivetrain in it so he could actually go enjoy the truck and drive it around. So it's got the 6-liter, it's got a 4L60 in it, and we have an adapter to the original square body transfer case because this thing is on a square body Suburban K20 chassis. So it's got the original transfer case and axles, and 4-wheel drive works, and the 4L60 is way better than the TH400 that was in there before as far as actually driving down the highway and stuff. So this truck is a couple little wiring issues, but ready for pickup. He's gonna go enjoy this up in Blue Ridge as well. So that kind of caps off most of our active projects right now. We've got the convertible Mustang in paint. We've got a 67 Camaro project that we did a bunch of work to, and he took it to his painter down in Florida. So we should be seeing that here in a few months for final assembly. And that Austin Healey that's not here, and a whole bunch of stuff that people are waiting to send us. We've got a small, tight-knit crew of guys here that just come in every day and make it happen and help me put out the highest quality cars that I think that we can possibly do. And it has been a wild ride. We're coming up on our 1-year anniversary here at the shop in Jasper. Thank you everyone for your support, and if you've sent us cars, thank you for your business. So keep following along. We're gonna post more fastback videos here soon, and I know we've got some videos of putting the convertible Mustang together, and if any of these other cars pique your interest and you want us to do any more detailed videos on them, we'd be more than happy to. So just let us know. Reach out. We're on Google Maps, and we have a website, fostergarage.com. So any questions, just feel free to reach out. Thank you guys for watching.